Welcome back to our 30-day journey of growth and transformation. It's day 18. And today we're tackling something most of us face, at one point or another: fear of failure and performance anxiety. Whether it's a job interview, a big presentation, or even a personal goal, this fear can hold us back. But the good news is, we're going to dive into some practical strategies to help you overcome this barrier. Before we can overcome performance anxiety, we first need to understand where it comes from. Fear of failure is deeply rooted in how we see ourselves and how we think others see us. We don't just fear failing, we fear the judgment that comes with it. The questions that linger in our minds. What will they think? What if I'm not good enough? This kind of thinking can lead to procrastination, self-doubt, or even avoiding challenges altogether. But here's the thing: failure is part of the learning process. Every successful person has failed at some point. It's how you handle failure that sets you apart. The truth is, failing doesn't define you. Your resilience and willingness to try again do. And that's what we're going to focus on: how to shift your mindset and manage anxiety when it strikes. So, let's talk about performance anxiety. You've been there before. Your palms are sweaty, your heart races, and your thoughts spiral out of control. You start imagining the worst-case scenarios. This creates a cycle. You fear failing, which increases your anxiety, and the anxiety leads to poor performance, which reinforces the fear. The key to breaking this cycle is recognizing it. Performance anxiety typically stems from a perceived high-stakes situation, where we believe the outcome will have a significant impact on our future. But let me ask you something. How many times have you looked back on a moment you were anxious about, only to realize later that it wasn't as life-altering as you thought? Now that we've identified the source of your performance anxiety, let's talk about how to deal with it in a practical way. Here are some actionable steps you can start using today. Step 1. Reframe failure. Instead of seeing failure as the end, view it as a stepping stone. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? By shifting your mindset to a growth perspective, failure becomes an opportunity, not a dead end. Step 2. Set realistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations often fuel anxiety. If you expect perfection, you're setting yourself up for failure before you even start. Focus on progress, not perfection. Step 3. Practice deep breathing. Anxiety lives in the body, not just the mind. One of the simplest ways to calm your nervous system is through deep breathing. Try this. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. Repeat this until you feel your heart rate slow down. Step 4. Visualization before a big event. Visualize yourself succeeding. Picture everything, from how you'll feel to how the situation will play out. This isn't just positive thinking. It's a mental rehearsal that prepares your brain for the challenge ahead. Step 5. Break the task down. Large tasks can feel overwhelming, which feeds into anxiety. Break the task down into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the final outcome, focus on the next actionable step you need to take. This approach reduces the feeling of being overwhelmed. One of the most important things to remember is that success doesn't always mean winning, and failure doesn't always mean losing. Often, our definition of success is too narrow. We associate success with applause, awards, and accolades. But in reality, success is about growth, learning, and improvement. Let's redefine failure. 2. Instead of thinking of it as falling short, think of it as feedback. It's the universe telling you where you can improve. Every time you fail, you get closer to mastering the skill you're working on. The final piece of advice is perhaps the simplest, but also the hardest. Face your fear head-on. The only way to truly overcome fear of failure is to do the thing you're afraid of. Start small if you have to, but take action. The more you expose yourself to the situations that trigger your anxiety, the less power they hold over you. Remember, confidence doesn't come before you take action. It comes after. Each time you face your fears and survive, you build resilience. And over time, you'll realize that the fear you once had no longer controls you. So there you have it, simple, actionable strategies to overcome the fear of failure and performance anxiety. Remember, failure is not the enemy, inaction is. When you start embracing challenges, learning from your mistakes, and facing your fears, you become unstoppable. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you tomorrow for day 19, where we'll be exploring a new challenge in our 30-day journey. Until then, keep pushing forward and remember, the only failure is in not trying.